So let's get it started a bit earlier today, seeing how nobody's watching. But I do have, well, one. I got to get it started earlier because this afternoon I do have a good bit of stuff I need to do. So there is I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. So today I'm gonna do like the top 10 beginners tips. I'm gonna record that YouTube video. Then next is Midnight Fang because looky what I got yesterday. Woo! That's fun. So I'm gonna go over a video of how I got them. And here's the thing, all the luck I wasted on like the purple and red dragons, not getting them. I'm looking at so cool. Reversed here on this one, and then the other dev notes. I want to go over dev notes and read through those, and then do a little video on that. So those would be like the three things I try to get to today before I like end the stream. But I am in a good mood over getting this guy. This was a lot of fun. Well, not a lot of fun. It's fun because at the end I got what I wanted. It's not like it was anything. Anyway, I'm trying to like, how do I put it? I'm really excited. Put it this way. I can't even say the whole sentence. I keep interrupting myself. This is like the first pet I want to say. I mean, it must be like a legendary pet or something, where it was had a battle. It was very, very like nip and tuck, nip and tuck. Did it a few times, and there were these tricks. I had these Reddit guides that I had. I used a little bit of AI to research it, and it found like two Reddit guides for me. And I used the Reddit guides plus some other stuff I figured out a little bit. And I say other stuff, like one or two things I figured out. Um, and then I ended up catching them. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Um, what else? I think that's basically it. And I kind of want to do. I'm trying to save these things for the top 10 thing. So I guess top 10 tips would be first. Hold up. Because I don't really want to run through my. I probably should, though. Run through all of my cube keys now. And I'm trying to look at the guide, the tips that I wrote down. Thanks with the help with what Yang Wolf was in on it, Gojo, some tips from Flint Fox, just everybody Sinestra, everybody around. So I'm trying to figure out the best order of doing these things, not to mention the fact that because of who is it, Gila? I just finished her last mastery, so now she is at P6. I just need a weapon that isn't a piece of crap to go here. I guess an SR something or another. I thought I would pull one by now. I'm not doing any pulls at the moment. I kind of don't want to waste resources on a lance, but it will improve her level. So it feels like it's an absolute necessity. I should refine that armor, and I will get to that. You know what? Then let's do that. Let's look at this then real quick. Let's look at doing the armor, and then I guess I'll get into the top 10 tips. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll do that. Let me see. I have nothing in here, and I just want to build a lance. The other funny part about it is that I could create an SSR lance. I already have one of those. I could do another one. That could go towards not the beginner's guide, but the top 10 tips for beginners. I could create this lance, I think down here. Where are you, buddy? Okay, there it is. All I need is a little bit of gold, which I got. I already have two weapon things. There's no other character that I'm worried about making an SSR weapon for, like at this very moment. So I could theoretically make this weapon without it being like too much to the detriment of anything that I'm trying to do now. I could make that SSR weapon. I don't know why I'm so hesitant. I know why I'm so hesitant because I don't want to like overdo it or overreach or do something stupid. Let's see. Going back to my characters real quick. Going to their weapons. To give Gila an SSR weapon and to have Elaine not with any of them, except for one, bothers me a little bit, but I'll still have a stamp. She is one of my primary characters I use all the time, but she already has two. I'm trying to balance it out, I guess. Maybe that's what it is, and maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Not Diane. Daisy's going to stay with this SR book, Grimoire. I've already like done the level 7 limit breaker on it. It is fun to have her with the Grimoire, and that added boost right there. The crit decrease, back attacks decrease crit resistance by 40% for 20 seconds. Huge. Love that. That's not on the other Grimoire. The other Grimoire is for basically the SSR Grimoire is for burst gauge. I love Jericho. I love Jericho. I'm not using her as much. Now that Diane has proven to be such a beast, and she already has it. I'm not using her as much. Gita is supposed to be good for time-space junction, and I would like to talk to somebody about that before I do this. But we'll have to see, because I still haven't done. And then with him, I took this up to 40 already. 40, 50. He's straight. She has 2 SSR weapons. 40, 40. So it's either Gila. It's not Jericho, because I'm just not using her as much. And she already has a level 50 dual blades. And it's fine. It would have to be this lance for her. And I don't know if I want to give her an SSR lance or just a regular old lance. I guess if you're going to do it right. I don't know. We'll think on that. Well, I want to, but I'm scared to use the resources now. I don't know why I'm so hesitant. I'm better at farming now than I was before, and I can go ahead and farm this up, but so hesitant at the moment. I'm so hesitant at the moment. All right, so SSR weapons. Let's go to our weapons thing. One for Gila. And then for everybody else on my primary squad, which this is my primary squad now, I could even put Manny in here over Elaine at the moment. I still use Elaine to go in with the barrier, but we could theoretically... No. For more difficult content, I'll use Elaine because she puts up the barrier first. Then we dive in with Diane, build up that burst gauge, then do 5 more hits. Then we have an earth-based barrier. What's up, Gojo? And then we have an earth-based barrier, Meliodas, Daisy. Okay. Okay. Gojo, here we go. Here's a question before I get to the top 10 beginner's tips. Here's the question. Right now, I have Gila. Her masteries are complete. She's P6. I thought by now I would have pulled even an SR lance. I haven't pulled any lance. Like I pulled one SR. No. I have one SSR lance that I made myself. I'm tempted to put an SSR lance here just because of the whole 30% boost. I'm never going to use her with lance, right? Or am I more conservative and I make an SR lance, take that up to level 40 like a lot of my other SSR characters. He's just not getting touched. Like all my other SSR characters, and then come back to the SSR lance later. I'm hesitant because I don't want to waste my weapon blueprints. I really don't want to waste those. All right, so that's the question. I'm leaning towards just giving her a regular old SR, craft it, but just giving her a regular old SR weapon, and then hold on to those weapon blueprints just in case. Because I mean, I know we haven't had an announcement over who the next character is. I think there was a leak, but you know how I am about those. And I feel as though I would rather wait. However, I already have what, two weapon blueprints? Let's go to the bag. Just throw it in the bag. Hey, where you at? Y'all gonna, yep, there it is. So I have two weapon blueprints. I'm not hurting. Plus, I have like 11 more fragments, and I have a third. So I think I'm being too paranoid. I think I'm gonna do the SSR weapon lance with Gila. Still bothers me. Or, since they're on my primary team, an SSR weapon for the other ones. Just save those. It's not a big deal. You're using Gila for burst. She is good with the armor and craft. That was the other part too. I crafted these accessories yesterday. Come here. Come here. I crafted these accessories yesterday and put them strictly on Diane. Even though I know, like, this is for burst gauge. She's primary burst gauge for me. If I go in with Gila and put those accessories on her, sure. But that's who I put it on first. Because that's who I use. That's who I use. I guess I'll save him. I'll just make an SR. I'll just make an SR weapon. There's a reason why I'm hesitant, and it's because I know not know that I shouldn't do it, but it's smarter money is on doing something else. So we will go to, what does this lance do? Wind attack, boo. Let's see. Hey, come here. Come here. Yeah, that's what I mean. I was gonna. Oh, sorry, I shouted. Yeah, that's what I mean. If I decide to go into the time space junction, I can just rotate them, and that's good. That's why I'm not too bugged out about doing that. The Crimson Flame, but that's the other part of it too. This is the other part of it too. This is the other part of it too. Crafting the Crimson Flame lance to me only makes sense if I use it towards an SSR weapon. But do I really? I could craft the ticket level 40, and then I still have plenty of resources to craft another one. My tip is to craft all SSR weapons first for DPS. That makes sense because it does increase attack immediately. It does, and she's only burst gauge. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That is fair. That's one of those like not so beginner tips. Because I was putting on here. Hey, where's my thing? All right, because I was putting on here. Did you use all of them? Oh, SR weapon select. Yeah, I used all of them. I used them in a smart way. I used them to craft SSR weapons, and I used my last one like 3 or 4 days ago. So I used them intelligently, but yeah. I didn't do the DPS first thing though, because I did need to do. I think I did the ones for who. Not for Diane. Who was it? I think I did one for Diane. No, because I already had one pulled, so I didn't do it for Diane. I know I did one for Escanor. I did one for. Did I do one for Daisy? Yeah, Daisy. I did do one for Daisy. I don't know. We had like 7 of them, right? You're saving those? Yeah. I saved them for a bit, but I was going to use them. I was going to use them. But, and that's also why I'm hesitant. Not hesitant, but also why it's like, with those selectors, I get the saving, and I used them sparingly. It took me, well, like I said, we got them like 2 weeks ago. And I just used the last one like, had to be 3 days ago. Before the last stream. So like that last Thursday, last Friday. Crafting them is relatively easy though. That's why it was. I'll do it sparingly when I figure out the S. I was using them when I figured out an SSR weapon that I wanted. Then I went ahead and used the selectors. Okay. Anyway. All right. So there goes that. I will wait on the lance for Gila, especially since I'm not going to use her right now anyway. And as I understand it, and this is what I was going to ask you as well, have you done the time space junction yet? That was the other question, because at this point, what are those notifications for? Oh, I need to get these two things. And I was going to save those for the top 10 tips. Because right now, time space junction, I'm terrified of going into. And that's part of the reason why I was looking at Gila, was that, hey, East District, is that in the time space junction, Rockspire, it's fire, darkness. From what I understand, Gila and Escanor are very big here. My team is nowhere near powerful enough. I'm not touching it. So the idea was Gila, Escanor, I think it was Daisy and Manny was the team that was supposed to go in here. So, oh no. Gila, Escanor, Meliodas, and Daisy, I think was supposed to be it. Either Daisy or Manny. I don't know which one was supposed to go in. But that's part of the reason why I'm focusing on Gila a good bit. Because my team with Gila on it is not 7498. 74989. Let's see what that beta team looks like. So yeah, if I sub out Diane for Gila as our, I don't know why I did it that way. Diane for Gila as our bursts. There's a drop off. Jesus, that's a drop off. Also use Gila, Manny, Daisy, and Melly. So with no Escanor in there? I guess sub out Elaine, even though I do like the barrier. I have grown to absolutely love Daisy though, especially with the Grimoire. That was a good call. And then Manny. So we're using Gila to build the burst gauge. Oh, Manny for that increased crit damage. Ugh. Yeah, without Escanor, but you should be used to animations. I don't think that says what you meant it to say. But yeah. Oh, when we're not using Manny with the sword, I assume we're using Manny with the staff. Chill. All right. Still not strong enough. Still not strong enough. Okay. Anyway. So that was the next team. This, I guess, will be the team for Time Space Junction. I'll just keep developing them, working on them. Try to get them up there. Oh. One thing I did need to do for Gila was to refine some of her armor. That's facts. I need to do this, but I don't think I have the goal for it just yet. So I need to do some missions, which I will do coming up. All right, so let's try the top 10 tips. Top 10 tips, and these are my top 10 tips. So I'll ask those who disagree, comment. That's cool. No worries. I'm not the end all be all for sure. All right. Let's do that. Transition and start recording. Let's back up. I guess we go to the weekly stuff. Okay. Remnants crafting mats will be decreased from 80 transcendence to 40. Yeah, they're decreasing them because they're splitting the value of engraving armor, or re-rolling, whatever they want to call it, re-rolling the armor. So they'll decrease the value of, they'll decrease the cost of that. They add in another currency that will go for the passives, and then they say you get those in limited events. And then those limited events will be good for free to play and great for those who pay. I can see that. I can see that vision coming already. Give the whales a little bit of a nod. I think that's what that does. So yeah, those costs go down. Don't let's move that away. Let's move that away. All right. Yeah, those costs go down, but like it's the economy shifting. And I think I said this before about like gaming stuff, which is, and someone brought it up and they were right about how to do it. You start off with the economy being like stingy, very, very stingy. People come in and complain about the grind or the other stuff, and then you give them more and more and more. So it feels like they're getting more and more and more, when in actuality, you could have started out this big and did less and less and less. But taking away feels so much worse for players than we're giving you more. So it's a psychological little trick. Like, oh man, this is going to cost less. Yeah. Yeah, of course. We'll put this other thing over here that costs a little bit, but I mean, this is less over here. We're listening to the players. Anyway, and they're adjusting their economy accordingly. Time Space Jam is so hard. You need 1 to 3 hours to clear it. Well, they want you to clear it in 2 minutes. And I think that's part of the whole like SSR weapon argument, because it does give you 30% additional attack, but I think it gives you extra stats too. Not to mention, when you're building the burst gauge, if you think about it solely on from the perspective of building the burst gauge, cool. But that extra 30% damage from the character that's supposed to be building the burst gauge is big. It does help, even if they're not the primary damage dealer and they're setting up. Having all SSR weapons on your sub DPS to build burst means they're hitting a lot more, so the damage is, it's just more. It's just more damage. So you can't necessarily ignore that, and that's my view of like Time Space Junction. You can't necessarily go in with that concept of only your DPS get those SSR weapons. It's got to be that whole team that goes in, I think, has to have SSR weapons. Because everybody needs to contribute to damage more than just the, you know what I mean, sub DPS and DPS. Manny needs to be able to do some damage, and so does Daisy. I think that's what, and so does Daisy. Like, all of them need to be able to do something. Anyway. Or at least every little bit helps, put it that way. So, we will. Oh, I did not mean to do that at all. Let's go back to the city. By the way, like I really did sleep on Daisy and the whole Grimoire thing. I don't know what I read or what I saw, and it's proof that I need to understand the game better. But damn it, that flower in the middle that's shooting lightning, that's right up my alley. Damage over time, right up my alley. Okay. So. Nope, that's not it. Okay, and so like Clotho is the next one who's coming, all right? From what I understand. Well, I was gonna pull for Clotho or the next character anyway, because I think at this stage it's all like, I love him because she is Wind Burst. That means we will get Wind DPS too. Yeah. But wait, isn't Elaine Wind Burst when she's using her staff? You know, let me look at this. ¿Dónde está esta cosa? Okay, so yeah, she builds burst gauge when she's using her wand. That's what it is. Anyway, doesn't matter. Which that I just leans towards Clotho being DPS and then using a lane as the sub DPS to me, because the lane was already one of those ones being used as a sub DPS to build burst gauge. No, I have only one shot and need 37 pulls and pities at 50. You have only one shot. What do you mean? You have. Wait. She's holy burst. Oop, oop. Hey, you knew what I was trying to do. Stop it. Then I guess I'm wrong on that. Because I thought. Oops. No. Yeah, you're right. So then that means with when she's DPS. So then would that mean Clotho, you said, would be burst? Does that turn Elaine into a DPS character? I don't know why I said there was such a high voice. Anyway, okay. This is all speculation at the moment. All right, let me record this video real quick and then we'll talk about it later. So, boop. All right, so. Oh, it was already recording. 6 minutes of trash. That is nice. All right, so here we go. It'll be DPS. All right, so coming in. Let's go ahead and delete this first so I don't get confused later on. Today is the 11th. There is the... Oh, that one's just started. There's that one at 10. Bet. Let's go ahead and plop you in the trash. Delete. Okay. So now, coming in 3, 2. I should say, I know it's going to say top 10 beginner tips, but my top 10 tips for beginners, what you absolutely need to do in my view. Now, for those of you who are going to watch this video and be like, I can't believe he did. I can't believe he didn't say, I can't believe he did. Well, that's comment section. Comment section. This video is supposed to be for everyone to figure out some tips around the game. So if I missed something or said something incorrect or anything, comment section. Comment section. And those of you who are looking for the tips, comment section. Read it. There's plenty of people out there who are way smarter than me who are playing this game who have amazing tips. I'm just giving you my top 10. Let's get to the video. All right, so coming back in 3, 2. Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a 7 Deadly Sins origin video. In this video, top 10 tips that I have 10 to 1. Honorable mention goes to, you see that pet on the screen? I just got him last night. Her. It's a her, right? I just got her last night. This goes towards the idea of catching pets. I know that you're probably searching for videos all over the place. And this is just an honorable mention. You're looking for videos all over the place. How do I increase my odds? How do I do this? How do I do that? You can't. You hit the creature as much as possible, lower their HP as much as possible. You toss out your potion, you cross your fingers. Some pets require the gold potion. I think it's called the concentration potion. We can go up to it real quick. I think I have 2 left, and you usually they've given some of these away. The radiant potion of charm. Okay, that is going to be required for the pet you just saw. Some other ones can be taken down with the concentrated potion, but there is no special tip. Sorry, I'm telling you this, and that's why it's in the top 10 and not actually beginner's tip. I'm telling you this tip as there isn't a tip. It's okay. It's frustrating. It's infuriating. You're going to waste a lot of potions and a lot of resources trying to catch certain things. It's going to happen. Just knock their health down as much as possible. As much as you dare. Throw out the potion, cross your damn fingers. Hope your RNG's good. All right, so there's the honorable mention tip. Now, coming back to it. Tip number 10. This is a pretty obvious one, but it bears saying. I didn't get he didn't get his mail rewards. Wait, what? You need to check that out. It is. Go through your daily missions, go through your weekly missions, specifically just these missions as well. I made sure to get through all of these missions at the very beginning because there's so many resources and you can get so many of these orbs so that you can pull for it won't let me do it. There it is. There it is. You can get so many of these regular hero draw tickets. I like the orbs, whatever. Draw tickets. How is it a ticket if it's a orb? Okay. Anyway, you get a ton of these. This is going to help build up your squad. You want to get as many chances to get the regular SSR heroes as you can while the event for the newer ones are going on. So with this, you'll end up with, by the end of it all, let's get out of there. Yeah. So at 10 chapters, that's 30 of those orbs, not to mention all the resources down the side here that you're getting at each level of this. Then you go up one to the next mission. The next mission. And honestly, I'm just stressing doing this. Same deal. So that's 60 orbs right there for you to pull, okay? You want to do those, plus the resources on the side. Next thing is going to be the dailies. Now, you're going to have the option to change. I don't know if I could even still show it. You have Leonis, Furzin, Fairy King Forest, Silent Desert, Vanya. As you're going through the main story, be sure to check your daily missions to see if you can go ahead and change it, because the more regions you unlock, the better the rewards are for the daily rewards as you get to the enemy. So for example, defeating the where are you? The boss challenge. That boss challenge defeat gets you 5 cube keys. Cube keys are very important in this game. Very, very important. You defeat a boss challenge, you get 5 cube keys. Other side tip to this tip, you can go to Draco once you've beat Draco. He's like the fastest boss challenge to beat because he doesn't have all that animation and path and stuff in front of him. You can beat him really, really fast. I think I got it down to like 30 seconds. And then don't get the cube. Leave the cube unless you need it. Leave the cube, and then you still have your 5 cube keys without having to spend the 10. However, if you need those resources, knock them out. Then it's at a discounted rate. Anyway, so dailies and very important weeklies. The weeklies going to your Book of Stars here. And I'm snatching it up now because I haven't done it yet. As you progress through your world level, you're going to get more and more star fragments. So yeah, of course, you want to go ahead and get your weeklies from your Book of Stars. But at the same time, if you go to the shop, they don't necessarily highlight this. I wonder why. You come here and you will have, where are we at? Did I pass it? There it is. So under bundles, cube key, you come in here and your weekly, you get, bam, a bunch of cube key bundles. You get 7 cube key bundles. There's 20 cube keys in each of those. That's 140 cube keys. Cube keys are very important in this game, and I keep saying it a lot. Anyway, that was a lot for tip number 10. Let's go on tip number 9. All right, so tip number 9 is, this is another kind of standard tip that you have in these types of games. Find your 5 characters. Now, this is going to require some research on your side, who you have. Now, everybody should get Meliodas. As of the recording of this, whenever you're a new player, you get Meliodas, and you get like 21 days to pull him. If you focus on pulling for him, you should get him, okay? You should. As long as you're using your resources properly. If you're putting your star fragments into like regular hero pools or into the other legendary character that's going to be there, then yeah, you're probably not going to get Meliodas. Or you may not. You run that risk. At this moment, May 11th, 2026, he's the best character in the game in terms of damage dealing. I highly recommend going after him. And if there's another potential SSR that you're looking at, leave it, do Meliodas first, come back. Once you get Meliodas at least once, you can do it twice, 3 times. I wish I'd done it more. But once you get Meliodas at one time, then you can go back for the other SSR. In my view, as of the recording of this, if they made any kind of changes, put them in the SSR selector, then your strategy changes, of course, right? Next up, you're going to have a couple of SRs. I would say invest in them sparingly. Try to wait for more SSRs. Invest in them sparingly, okay? Do what you need to do to get through the acts, but in terms of like putting a bunch of resources into them, I would wait. I have not yet. I did luck up. I've gotten like almost all of the SSRs except for one, and I had I want to say like three or four from the very beginning. So Tiare, Tristan, they got booted off my team relatively quickly. Not saying that's the right or wrong thing to do, but they did pretty fast because I had SSRs to back me up. So there's that. Pick your 4 or 5, focus on them. If you can, get them centered around an element. I do have a whole guide on using the burst gauge. So try to get, if you can, focus on an element. If not, take your strongest characters, put some investments in them sparingly as you get through the game. And then eventually you'll be able to form teams around a certain element, around a certain concept, or around a certain strategy. By the way, Teode and Tristan, they're not bad characters as SSR characters. It's just once you get an SSR, you're gonna put them in. All right, so coming down to number 8. If you're trying to level up your characters in a fast manner, the quickest way, and it's cheap in the beginning, cheap. It's not necessarily expensive. Focus on the masteries. Figure out the weapon that your character is going to use the most. For me, Daisy's going to use the Grimoire the most. We can get to the weapon stuff later. She's going to stick with the SR weapon over putting an SSR Grimoire on her just for my general team. That is because that SR weapon is better for her and what she does than the SSR weapon. Got to do your research. It's not always about the highest level. Anyway, so if you want to level up your characters relatively quickly, masteries are the first place you go. Additionally, and I guess this goes to the leveling up thing, when you come to, let's go to hero details. We'll do it this way. When it comes to their weapons, also be aware that weapons that are not used give 30% added attack. You can see that at the bottom of the screen, right where it says X use. Right above it, you see 30% of attack from the other weapons are added to your character. So you do want to fill out their weapons, even if you only put them at level 40, level 30, level 20, wherever you are in the game. You do want to have them all with the all of the weapon slots filled up to whatever level. So for example, here, what you end up having me do here is this is level 40, this is level 40, right? And then this is level 50. I don't want to take these two SR weapons up to level 50, so I'm putting them in the slots at level 40. All that said, armor, same thing. That's going to help you with your levels as well, a lot. But the main thing that's going to help you level up these characters is going to be the masteries. So let's move on to number 7. Number 7 is something I did not do, right? And that is you need to, and they're all gone now. Focus on these side quests, the hidden quests, all the quests around another pretty standard RPG thing. But the side quests do give you a lot of resources. It helps you with leveling up your characters. So as you go per region, level up. Sorry, I had a buzz. Level up your character. As you go through the regions, be sure to do as many side quests as you possibly can as they pop up. Get through them. That's going to help you level up and get a lot of resources. More resources. The leveling system is different than just like you defeat a character and you get experience. It's not that. But you do get a ton of resources that go towards building your characters. All right. Next. Number 6. Number 6 is a little bit not difficult to explain. It took me a second to get a grasp of it. And you saw me speak on it a little bit when it came to weapons and the armor just for a second. I touched on it quickly because I was like, oh no, you're talking too much and you're giving up too much of your guide. So armor engraving is very, very important. All right. This is going to be one of those later tips. Like you're a beginner, but you need to be aware of it. First of all, and we're going to take a character like, where is he? Tristan, where you at, buddy? All right, so we're going to take a character like him. Now, to be real, I have not engraved anything else on Tristan just yet because I'm focusing, as I said before, on my SSR characters. However, that being said, the first thing you're going to end up engraving is this from Tristan, the Princess Training Outfit. Cool. What's up, Beast Mode? Cool. There's a thing called refining your armor. Don't refine this just yet, okay? There's going to be the next level of this that's going to have, I should probably make that just for the star fragments. By the way, engraving gets you star fragments. Be aware of that. I'll show you in a sec. This you may want to invest in. I even have a +5 there. Oh, that hurts my stomach. But that was me learning. Don't refine those just yet. In my view, you can engrave these. That's fine, especially since the resources used to engrave these are like other. I think they're called heroic purple armor. That's fine to have those engraved, but do not refine those, in my opinion. If you get stuck, maybe, but I would say no. You can refine these. And one of the most important things about this is by the time you're engraving this armor, you should have a pretty good grasp over what your characters do. And then when you come down to burn mark level 1, attack an enemy with reduced fire resistance, decreases the normal skill cooldown by 50% and increases the fire burst efficiency by 20% for 15 seconds. This is a build for him to have fire, for him to use the burst gauge, right? As you go through, you'll see use the normal skill, wild normal skill boost, etc., etc. All of these passive abilities, or not a passive abilities on the armor, that will dictate which ones to refine, which ones you want to actually engrave. So as I'm going through the game, I will engrave this armor and that armor. They're fine. I wouldn't refine them yet. Next thing is, when you're getting to the armor that is using legendary pieces, you should by that point know how you want to use that character, and then you can farm towards the specific legendary pieces you want so you can engrave the proper armor, and that's the armor you refine. So hopefully that tip makes sense. Armor is very important. It's going to increase your level. You want to refine it, but you want to wait until you have like legendary armor that you're actually farming for. Engrave the other armor here, especially when you're coming out of like dungeons and things, because one of the problems I had was I salvaged a bunch of armor, a bunch of heroic armor. The problem with that is, and this is where we'll go to the switch up. The problem with that is there are a lot of these SR characters that use this heroic armor that can be built. Oh, but if I'm not even using these, why would I do that? Well, this is the other part of the armor where I was dumb. If I had not been so eager to salvage armor, then as I go down to Gil Thunder and I go down to skins, you'll notice that if I had just waited and created it, I would have gotten 500 star fragments. 500 star I think these are for the legendary, but 500 star fragments for that one, that would have been fine. Oh wait, another 500 star fragments for this one for Tristan. Oh wait, another 500 that I would have missed on. Another 5. Are you noticing a theme? You still want to engrave the like lower levels of the armor so you can get those star fragments. Yeah, I made that mistake. Don't make my mistake. Okay, so moving on to number 5. Number 5 is like pretty quick. What? Beast mode. Oh, but I mean, are you still playing DC Worlds Collide? I'm glad you like the guides. I'm surprised they're still helpful, to be honest with you. But I shouldn't be, since the game hasn't changed. I shouldn't be. Angry. Hope you're doing well. Wait, why are you angry? Let me know. All right, let me get back to the video. All right, so coming back in 3, 2. Okay, so this next tip, don't abuse it, because we even have someone who watches me on stream as I'm recording this, who's being abused by a certain person, in the sense of party in the beginning when you're lower levels and you're trying to get past certain dungeons. Good morning, Spike. And you're trying to get past certain dungeons, right? You can use a party. You can find a party, and in the dev notes, which I will do a video on that later. But I mean, if you're watching this anytime after, I don't know, May 12th, then don't worry about that. It might already be in the game. They're going to add a party matching system. So people who are looking for a party can just match up, as opposed to this find a party, invite a person, because this is getting annoying when you invited somebody. If I'm farming and I don't have time for party stuff and then you keep inviting me, it's annoying when you do it like 3 times in a row. Anyway, they're going to have a party matching system up. Cool. They're gonna have to find a party. You have knighthood, which I still haven't created yet, but like that's your system to build your own like guild, basically. Um, so you do have those in place. Use it because it helps you get through dungeons. I've used it a couple times to get past some dungeons. It's fun. It's nice, especially if you can do it with friends. Hopefully, in the future they will like have a server merger where like everybody around the world can like be on parties, because I have people that watch that I want to do parties with, but they're over on the SEA server. There's another one on the North American server. I'm in Europe. I can't even play with my friends, man. Yo, Netmarble, get on it, just please. Anyway, so use parties to your advantage. Don't overuse them, don't abuse them. Use them to get the resources and learn the game, because there are people who've been playing the game since the beginning who still just grab a party and then let the party do all the work and then get the rewards. That's just it's I want to say the word, but y'all know what kind of behavior I want to say. Jerk. You're a jerk. Anyway, moving on to the next one. All right. This is a tip I did not follow myself, but it was partially because content creator, I want to try and explore as many things as possible. And. This is centered around your Book of Stars world level. Now, your world level, it changes as you get through each of the levels of the Book of Stars. I am at the highest that's available at the moment. I think they're coming out with world level 5 relatively soon, but we're at world level 4 now. World level 4 has more difficult elite field bosses. I have done a guide on each of those elite bosses and field bosses, but as your world level goes up, the rewards from defeating those bosses go up as well, right? All of the enemies around the world become more difficult based on the world level, and you can change it, right? You can change it to 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had to do 3 sometimes when making content, so I don't get my butt kicked too much. It's not too much of a fight, and I can be like, see, it gets difficult. It gets more difficult. Hence the higher rewards. Now, all of that is to say, hey, as I'm building up my world level, through that tip I told you about going through side quests, that does help you build up your world level. Getting through the different acts in the game helps you build up your world level. All of that stuff contributes. Why is that important? It is because as you're building up your world level, one thing that you want to do is use your cube keys sparingly. I did not do this at all, being real, but you use the cube keys that you need to defeat the bosses you need to. Try to gather the resources as much as possible while very carefully like monitoring your cube keys. Part of that goes towards, if you see here, right there, you see down where it says small cube key bundle. You can buy 10 every day. What does that do? A small cube key bundle holds 5 cube keys. You buy that to save your cube keys for the next day, right? So if you end up playing, and let's just say, oh, busy day, I got in one dungeon, I got 30 cube keys left, I'm not going to have any time. The kids need me, I got school work to do, whatever it is that is like making your life busy, you can save your 30 cube keys for another time. Why would I do that? And you can save 10 a day, so that's going to give you the full bag. Why would I do that? Well, because when it comes to cube keys, you only get it refilled from whatever number you're at. So right now, at the world level I'm at, I can have 50 a day. If I have 20 cube keys left of the 50, that means that I will lose 20 cube keys, because at reset, it's only going to refill it to 50. It doesn't give you 50, it refills to 50. That's where the cube key management becomes very, very important. If you're just going through the game like I was and just playing, and cube keys are being used to get all the resources you need and you're just kind of burning through them, I did. You don't necessarily have that problem per se of having some cube keys left over at reset. However, if you're doing it more sparingly, going through more side quests, not using the cube keys as much, you definitely want to come through and buy this bundle so you can save the cube keys for the next day. You always want your cube keys to be at 0 before reset, whatever reset is for you. I'm in Switzerland, so reset for me is 9 a.m. Figure it, the math in your world is probably, you probably figure it out first day. But once you figure out that, make sure you're at 0 before reset. And if you're not, Go buy the small cube key bundle, as many as you need, and it's basically just a free way to store it. And even if you don't use those cube keys the next day, it's not like it gives you a time limit or an expiration date. You can just hold on to it, at least as of recording. If they did something to change that, yo, that's not nice. But hopefully they don't, and it doesn't have an expiry date. So save those cube keys with the ultimate idea of once you get to world level 4, or again, if you're watching this later, whatever the new world level is, highest world level is, then you start using those cube keys. Then you start farming those bosses because now you're getting higher rewards as well. So there you go. Long winded number 4 tip. Number 3, and these are where the tips tend to get, well, 2 and 3. They tend to get a little bit subjective for me. And I went over it a little bit. When it comes to weapons, and again, this is subjective, and this is the one where I might get the most pushback and argument. So comment section in the video. I do not like taking SR weapons above level 41. Unless I know. So for example, this grimoire is the first thing I thought of. I just did this last night. Shout out to Gojo and Sinestra, I believe, who were giving me the tip, more Gojo, who was giving me the tips on using this grimoire for Daisy because of her ability to, I think it's her normal skill, puts up a bulb, gives damage over time. If back attacks decrease the crit resistance by 40%, etc., etc. Well, now by 40% because I've leveled it up to level 50. However, this is rare because it fits exactly what I want Daisy to do. It's very, very specific. Every other weapon that I have well, not every other. A lot of the other weapons that I have that are SR, because they don't serve a certain purpose other than boosting the level of my character's attack, I'm not putting that much investment into it. I'm not going to go above level 40 at the stage I'm at now. At the stage you're at, you may not want to go above level 10 or level 20, just depending on where your resources are. I'm not going above level 40 with these weapons. That I can get to level 40 comfortably, and without using platinum. Which, hey, I haven't mentioned that yet. You guys want to guess what? I have 2 tips left. Anyway, I know there might be an in-game or mid-game player who's like, he hasn't mentioned platinum. Anyway, so I won't take any of the SR weapons beyond level 40 yet. One big deal is this Crimson Flame Axe. These Crimson Flame weapons are used to make the Black Flame weapons, the SSR weapons. So when I come here, go to craft. Let's go ahead and set you up. Yeah, come here and I go to craft, right? So we're going to have this. All right, that's already just sitting there. So this is the Black Flame wand. It's an SSR weapon. I can make it by using a Crimson Flame wand. Now, the Crimson Flame series of SR weapons are not bad. They're not bad at all. But you do not want to level up a Crimson Flame weapon if you're going to make it into an SR weapon, because you've just wasted your resources. If it's level 40, you keep it and you use it, which is why you saw that Crimson Flame axe, which could be used to make a Black Flame axe, sitting there on Meliodas at level 40. It will not be used. I do have a Black Flame axe, and I did craft an SR Crimson Flame axe for it, but I did not level it because the second I would level it, any of those resources that went to leveling that weapon get lost, because that SR Black Flame axe is going to come in at level 1. It's going to start off at 1, no matter how many levels you have in your SR Crimson Flame. So for the SR weapons, if I'm putting them there as placeholders for attack, or because that's not the dedicated way I'm using that character, level 40, they're not going above that. SSR weapons, I'm going to try to get them to, like, not all of mine are, but as many of them over level, up to level 50 as I possibly can, maintaining that platinum allows. But then when it comes to the Crimson Flame series, if you're using any of those, level it up to level 40, but don't use that to craft the SSR Black Flame weapon, because then you lose all the levels and you've wasted all your resources. So that is tip number 3. Oh, and actually, you know what? Gojo brought this up. I don't know if I agree 100%, but I'm going to slide it to him on that one. It is, he also argues, or postulates that if you're doing SSR weapons for the other characters, where there's going to be a 30% boost in attack for every SSR, for every weapon on them, even if that weapon's not being used, those that are not being used. Check. I'm going to try to say that in a better way. For the weapons not being used on your characters, there's a 30% added attack. His argument, or he postulates that you should then have the next series of SSR weapons be on your DPS and your sub DPS first. That way they're getting that boosted 30% attack for each SSR weapon that is on there that isn't being used. And then move on to your support characters, your healers, all that other stuff. So that is what I agree. But he said it like 30 minutes ago, so I want to like double check it. But I do agree with him. I think that is a smart kind of sub tip to this. Now, here is something that is, I probably should go ahead and get to it. This is a tip. Another shout out to Gojo for this tip that he taught me. If you go into dungeons, and this is a big one, go into the gold dungeon, and from what I just read in the dev notes, which we will get into, they're gonna add the abyss level to the gold dungeon, right? Cool. Now, Gojo and Flint Fox actually were telling me that I'm wasting my cube keys here doing this. And they were right. I was wasting my cube keys. Now I was like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to do it. The reason why is because of the Capital of the Dead dungeon. Once you unlock this one, right, then I guess the level above, wherever it is. So we'll go here. You have a nightmare level dungeon here, okay? You have the abyss level dungeon here, all right? If I go into this dungeon, and we're going to try to do this now, actually. And I go into Abyss. If you notice, I haven't beaten Abyss yet. And I can't wait for them to remove that time limit because 5 minutes, you're losing your mind. I can't do both enemies in 5 minutes. What are we talking about here? I'm going to go into the Abyss level, though. Okay? As I go into the Abyss level, and I didn't plan on doing this right now, so let's hope I don't embarrass myself too much. As I go into the Abyss level, there is a golem that you can find. Let's go ahead. I guess I can use Daisy for this, right? All right, so I don't know why I said I guess I can. Let's hope I don't screw this up. The controller is not prepared for it. The controller fingers were not prepared. So we go here, there, twirl up. We're trying to get into this blue circle. Hey, made it. There's a golem here. Uh-oh. So what we're going to do is set up everything. And right now, oh, I have Gila in. I don't even have the right composition for this. Oh, this is terrible. I'm using the wrong team. He's already knocked out. So the idea behind all of this is, bam. Okay, so you want to defeat this golem. Hopefully I can get it done quicker. Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. Hey, Daisy, I'm going to need you to come in and go ahead and set up this lightning thing one more time. Boop, out of the way. Let's go ahead and set this up. Boop, yep. And let's go ahead and set up this priest blessing. Boop, yep. Set up that. Whoop. And then put Gila back in. Check. Get him. Get him. Uh-oh, his stun is stacking. He's not happy. Oh, he's stunned. Oh, I'm sorry. And let's murder him now. Oh, so once I've done that, I can come here and I obtain these rewards for 5 cube keys. In these rewards, the amount of gold in there, 130, is the same as what I would have gotten from the nightmare level of the gold dungeon. But not to mention, I'm getting all these other resources on top of it. Oh, no, I got 3 minutes up to go beat Gila. No, I don't. I'm leaving the dungeon. Deuces. I'm out. I got my gold. I got my resources. Deuces. I'm out of here. So that is, and honestly, that could be a number 1 tip. Another shout out to Gojo who showed me how to do that. Literally was like, yo, we need to do a video chat. I need to show you this. And I was like, cool. All right. And he showed me and I was like, oh, that's what y'all meant by me wasting my cube keys. I'm stupid. Now that was done on the Abyss level. The logic does hold up that you can do that at the other levels. So if you are in a dungeon where the highest level you have on there is, let's see, is it hell or hard? The highest level you have is hard, right? Which then means that maybe for your Gila dungeon, the highest level you have, I'm just going back to double check, is hell. The rewards from hell, I feel like that's a sentence I shouldn't be saying. But anyway, the rewards from hell are going to be higher if you go and beat that golem than they would be from getting it from that level of hard on the dungeon, right? And even if you are here and let's say it's slightly more gold, probably be better to go for like a big chunk of gold and then those resources as well for 5 cube keys. Just saying. Anyway, there is that tip. Now, the final tip that I will give, and this is the first thing everybody screamed at me when I started the game. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll get to it when I get to it. They were right. I was wrong in so many ways. I was like, I have plenty of platinum. What are you talking about? I got everything is based on platinum. Okay. You need to go farm, and they've made it a lot easier now with the continuous tracking, which makes it so much better. You need to go mine. This is a daily thing. It's not in your daily missions. This is a daily thing. And this is a number one tip, not because the previous tip is one of those like, oh, yo, I unlocked something for you. This is cool. Thank you. This is one of those like, this is a necessity. I almost put this number 10 just so that I would say it first. Because I was like, people aren't going to make it to the end of this video. I know for a fact they're not going to make it to the end of this video, but they need to know about the platinum thing. But it is the number one tip because it's the most important at this moment. It is the most important like thing in the game. It's having a ton of platinum, like so much platinum. You need so much platinum. Everything you need platinum. Okay, so I cannot stress that enough. You need to be sure to go farm for a platinum. And now another part of this is they have some, and hopefully they don't. I'm just terrified they're going to change this. I'm so scared they're going to change this. But when it comes to farming for platinum, I used to have like a little explore team, right? Now, I will say this. On this explore team, I've put Daisy in there for very special circumstances, but I will snag her out of here real fast. The thing that, it does need to be changed. The other character that can be on this explore team is Bug, okay? Why did I put in Bug? Well, if before you have your first pet that you've caught that can fly. Sorry, I got to ban a user real quick. If before you have your first pet that can fly, you pull Bug, the SR character, sorry. And I think even in the story you get him at a certain point, not 100%. I can't remember that for a fact. He does have an ability, X, where he turns into a bug, okay? Which means that he can fly. So hold X goes up, and then you can float and fly and fly and fly. Not as long as with some of the beasts, but it does help get you around when you're trying to go farm or mine these things. Let's go and snatch up these eggs. Just grab whatever you can whenever you can. Now, jumping down, the next character that I have on my explore team, you may recognize as Dreyfus. Now, why do I have Dreyfus on this explore team? Boop. I have Dreyfus on this explore team because, and this is where I'm worried about it. They did try to sell us a mining mount to ride and just one-shot these mining things. Dreyfus as an SR, one hit, and he takes out any of these ores, any of these things. He can just one-shot all of them. So I'll go around with this team and knock them out, right? On top of it all, Dreyfus, if you look at the map in my top right corner, I don't want to enlarge it because then it takes away from it. If you look at the map, he shows you where there's other things to mine. So if I come over here, I see something that's supposed to be here. Uh-oh, am I bouncing up? Let's get up here. There should be something else for me to mine around here. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there it is. So you see, based on the map, I was able to find this iron ore. Cool. Now, one more tip on the explore side of it. So now we have the character who can find, those ores, those mine deposits, whatever you want to call it. You have a character that can fly on your explore team. So what about when you're trying to gather like all of those like plants? Dandelion root, for example, used for the healing potions. This character a bit obsolete now with the whole continuous tracking thing. However, if you're just moseying along and you just want to explore the world a little bit but not miss out on anything, Hendrickson. Hendrickson does, hey, get all down there. Is an SR character that shows you, just like what you saw from Dreyfus, it shows you where other plants are that can be gathered. So we will actually put him on the team real fast. I don't know who I'm taking off. I've had Drake on for a bit just because of some lightning puzzles that I wanted to do. But let's go ahead and get down here to Hendrickson. Boop, 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 boop. Switch him in. Now that he is on this team, if I walk around this, you see at the top right, right on my map, now he's telling me where all of this stuff is that I want to get, all these different herbs. Hey, man, you need to learn a double jump. There you go. Bet. Now we go back to him. Now he has to be on the screen for that to happen. So now we go back to this, and where are we? Oh, there's something I can gather. Cool. So anything that you can gather, he's going to show you where it's at. We're going to move away from these crabs because I don't want to kill them. I feel bad when I kill the crabs. That. Now, one other thing in terms of this exploration, and this is still the tip of farming platinum, farming platinum, farming platinum. Before I said that, and I know I was wrong when I did it, or now that I know that, two very valuable SSRs, Drake, once you have him, he reveals where all the chests are that are anywhere near him on that map that you saw on the top right. So he's very, very, very important. And then Manny. Manny shows you where the star fragments are on a map. Same way that you just saw with Dreyfus and Hendrickson, and the same way that Drake does for treasure chests. The plus side about these SSRs are all you have to do is unlock them, and then you'll be able to see those star fragments, or you'll be able to see the chest. They don't need to be on the team, and they don't need to be running with you all the time. So, top 10 tips. Damn. That took a lot longer than I thought. If you guys have any objections, problems, or whatever, comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'll see you guys next time. Comics Planet. Here's a question for you. You're waiting for a DC Worlds Collide stream. When was the last time DC Worlds Collide updated their website? Then you'll get a stream. The second they update, the company's being sold again. The second they update their website, go check it. Go check it. I stopped a while ago because the game's dead. Because the game is dead / dying. They fired their marketing team. They've sold the game again to a different company. They dumped a bunch of like legendary characters all at the same time, and a cash grab of a cash grab. That was a poor attempt at a cash grab. So just so you know, they are. But nice to see you though. I'm over here playing Bleach, Soul Resonance, and 7 Deadly Sins Origin. I love playing that game. Comics Planet, I love playing that game. They don't have anything new though, and it was getting to be nothing but frustration. That's the problem. The thing, and how about this though? And I'm sure you're familiar. You saw how angry I got with that game? I don't get angry like that, not typically. I try to keep it high spirits. I was getting angry because I saw them like taking a game that I genuinely loved really quickly over a short amount of time. I love the animation, everything about it. I made so many videos for that game, and they burned that thing to the ground by just not communicating and by trying to squeeze us full. Anyway, I was so upset because I genuinely love that game. So much so that like, I'm not even joking. If you came back and you were like, hey, been following you since, yeah, DC Ledge. I got goosebumps. But no, like, I like DC Worlds Collide so much so that if it came back with those new developers and they did something, yes, I would jump right back on it immediately. No lie. but they didn't even have like if I'm not even saying like a 5 year run. What 5 months in, I had to stop. I did DC Legends for years, and it sucks because I love DC Worlds Collide. Even after I stopped streaming it, I was still playing it, like hoping and hoping and hoping. I even checked in like April 1st, I think April Fool's Day, because I was like, "Are y'all doing anything?" I still had the game on my on my phone. I just had it open. I was like, "Are y'all doing anything? Anything? Anything?" And they weren't. And then I went and checked the website again. Nothing had updated, and it sucks. It sucks so bad. I want them to do something so bad to not let that game die, but they've already killed it. That's the sad part. Anyway, in 2 days I will be done with Drake Masteries and Armor. Oh, that's cool. So then that's your last SSR that you're gonna be doing. I wonder, Comics Planet. Now that you mentioned that, though, I wonder if anybody has like, I guess not. There has to be somebody who's complained. I guess there's like droves of people who've complained, but it's like I can't. I can't. And I miss DC Legends. I miss DC Legends so much. Fudge. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Why'd y'all have to go and do that to us? Why can't they introduce Black Adam? Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So, and I tried to find this last time. This is what bothers me. Yeah, they haven't done a Brother Eye update since the first one. They said, yeah, we're going to do more communication, more communication. They stopped doing that. I think on Discord they're not introduced. But this was the other thing too. On the Black Adam thing, that is what concerns me. Right? So, and I, now after that, Gil Thunder, King, and Elaine. Well, Gil Thunder I don't count. King and Elaine I do. I meant like SSRs are you finished with, not just that. But like, you waited a while for King. That might be why you're not so into Elaine as well. Elaine is good, man. I think you were telling me to replace Elaine with Daisy, and I think I'd rather replace Manny with Daisy. Anyway, sorry. Is that I had? I'm so upset I can't find it either. I'm tempted to look for it right now. I had all of the character models from Black Adam, from there's a Harley Quinn one in there, from Billy Batson. There were character models that I had. The new vehicle, the Lex vehicle that got, there was stuff that I had from 2-3 years ago that someone shared with me, and anyway, White Lantern as well, and it was like none of it changed at all. So it was like you're doing the minimal to like get some content out there, and you're taking all the older stuff, but you're not changing a thing. If the devs have anyone paying even a little attention on there, then they know people aren't happy. Yeah, they don't, because it's it's the Ninja Turtles Legends. There's a video game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legends, and I've tried it 3 different times over the course of, I want to say, 8 years. It hasn't changed. And it's a grindy, grindy, grindy game, which then lends you towards spending money. And then by the time you figure out this game is dead, you spent your money. So if they hadn't sold the game already, and if they hadn't been doing the same stuff that they had already been doing in terms of like the character models and stuff, and releasing the exact same stuff basically in order, Elena's not that good right now in supports. What makes you say that? You don't have her. Love your Batman intro, DC Legends and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That was the other part of it too. I thought that DC Worlds Collide was going to be the next DC Legends. Not saying it was going to be like a 5-6 year run, but longer than a couple months. The thing came out 10 months ago. And we're already like, this been dead for 5-6 months. They just ran a new banner that had a brand new set that was exclusive to support characters. It did not go well. Oh man. Man. Damn, it sucks. Why can't they make a decent DC game? I'll argue all day on the Elaine support thing. Maybe not in time space, but for my general team, I love her. But if you're just trying to do all offense and no support, I guess you would take Elaine off because she's there for like sustainability for me. That's why I keep her on the squad. The shield, the barrier is awesome. You have a yeah, but you said you haven't done any of her master. But you said you have her P5, but you haven't done the masteries, or have you not done the armor? I don't understand. I think I only have her like P4, if I'm not mistaken, and I still love her. No, I got a P5. I got a P5. All right, so I did try Injustice 2, the mobile game. That was fun. They make good DC games. They just can't run it properly. Spike, perfect. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 It's like a really good restaurant with really good food, but they can't get their ish together long enough to like pass a health inspection or something. And then you're like, oh, gross. But that food was so good though, but gross. And then they're condemned and shut down. And you're like, I mean, I know that they gave a bunch of people food poisoning, but they didn't give me food poisoning, and I really enjoyed it. Why are you shutting down my favorite restaurant? That is the perfect. They make good games, they just can't run it properly. Is like the best description. It's like Fox with a TV series. We made Family Guy, let's cancel it. We made Almost Human, let's cancel it. We made Firefly, let's cancel it. And then you have a gang of people like, you made this incredible. Why would you? But perfect description, Spike. Oh my god, I just spit. It was so perfect. I mean, after masteries, she will be. Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The phone is a buzz. The phone is a buzz. Jeez, this must be Tim. Never mind. All right. So anyway, definitely not today. I was supposed to go hoop today. Maybe. Nah. Okay. No. Sorry. Getting distracted. I missed DC Worlds Collide. I actually really missed DC Legends, and DC Worlds Collide was supposed to be that replacement, and they don't know how to run a game. It's not hard. Take examples from Bleach Soul Resonance, who have apparently conflicts with the owner of the IP and the actual developers, yet they still manage to find a way to satisfy the community and listen to them and give them live streams and talk to them. Check out what Seven Deadly Sins is doing. They give live streams, every month? And they put out developer notes constantly. I'm about to do a video on developer notes right after I do Midnight Fang. The thing from Jump, Spike, Comics Planet, the thing from Jump, and I think you guys can both co-sign on this, was the lack of communication with your player base will murder games like this. If you are just going to do Madden 2027, you put out the game, this is the game, people play the game, and they give you updates and passes. Hell, they even listen more than others, but that's your game. If you're doing these long run mobile games, then you have to communicate with the community that you have. You have to. Or else, how do you know what they want to keep your game alive? You have to let some, not all the things, not the people who are give us everything free, and not the people who are like, I want to spend 20,000, give me everything I want. Not that, but you got to find a balance. And once you find the balance, then your game will survive. If you don't find that balance, game no survive. It's just that simple. And I said that from jump, that you guys keep not communicating with your player base, and it's going to end up stabbing you in the back. And I actually stabbed him in the front. When these others shut down, I still kept the game installed on my phone for like a year. Dude, I think I just recently uninstalled DC Legends. Just recently. And if you miss it that much, I still have on my YouTube channel, there is like a little DC Legends dedication thing where I think I left the videos up, and I did that. You must know about this. I did that night thing. I put all of my characters to sleep. So what I did, like the night, God, this is bad. If a therapist, I hope I have a psychology degree. I hope there are no therapists listening to this, because they're going to be like, yo, you need to be on a couch immediately. We need to talk to you about whatever. attachment issues you have. But I literally went through every single character in the game and changed the skin until it was the skin that I liked, and then I put them to, and that's how I put them each to sleep, which is the saddest, most turn around George, I'm gonna put a double tap in the back of your head type of thing I've ever done in my life. And I recorded it all. But I don't think I ever put it up on YouTube, which is another side. It's like, no, that's for me. Oh my God, I have issues. All right. I have issues. And I'm going to be like 70 years old being like, oh, I remember when they put Jericho in the game. He had a weird blonde Jerry curl. Why would they do that to him? Anyway, all right, so we're going to go over how I got Midnight Fang, I believe. I believe that's the name of this pet. Yeah, Midnight Fang. He awesome. I like him. He cool. Netmarble is listening. At least my friend said he doesn't like to re-roll the armors. He needs something to. No, they're listening. They're listening. I think they're a successful developer. They're listening, which is a plus. And are they going to do everything you want? No, but they're going to show you that, hey, we can't give you everything for free. Here's a little bit more though. And we heard you on this one, so we're gonna make this happen with the passives on the armor. And we heard you about this thing. You know what I mean? Like they're interested in what we say. By the who was your favorite top 3? Oh, DC Legends. Oh, who no. See, there's a problem with that. Because if you're talking about top 3, like by the end of the game, it became something like Cheshire. Trigon broke the game. Spectre. I love Spectre. And then, God, I can't believe I remember this. Cheshire, Spectre. No, not Azrael. He got obnoxious at the end. But closest to my heart, that's okay. Well, Man-Bat, funnily enough, because he introduced the disease mechanic. I love that. I used to love building bleed teams. I need to think about it. Man-Bat was the first thing that came to my head because they built and then I guess Cheshire was close to my heart too. None of the Batmans actually made it in my head. When they redid the Superman rework, that was cool, but that lasted for like half a year. And the Red Sun Superman, which they took from us, that sucked. But they gave that original skin was awesome. Wonder Woman Prince of Themyscira had a nice little run there. Sorry. So we will do, I'll say this, and then I'm gonna run into Midnight Fang. Spectre, he's still there. Cheshire, she's still there. Man-Bat. Man-Bat is the closest to my heart because he introduced the disease mechanic, and I remember that was the first like YouTube video I put up where I wasn't even doing content or anything. I was just like, look at how cool this is, and I just posted it, and I was like, I didn't even intend on anybody watching it. I just had to put it somewhere. It was awesome. I think I shared it with my alliance at the time. All right, here we go. I have video of Midnight Fang. Here. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I'm not saying that they will do everything for free, and that's what I mean though. It's not even about the doing everything for free. It's about you're listening to us on some level. Hey, and it's always going to be, it's a negotiation. It's always a give and pull. It's going to be like, hey, we put this in. Oh, let's see how much they like it. So in the last patch, they gave us a good amount of stuff. Right? There was also some stuff that they took away, and also some stuff where it was like, I can't believe you think we're going to pay that. So, for example, why does it look like I've lost some like stuff? Oh, no, it's because I'm on the... So, for example, that mount, like I was just talking about in the tips, that mount that mines, that thing was stupid expensive. Nobody's doing that so long as Dreyfus exists. If Dreyfus is still there, I'm not doing it. Now your whales will do it or whatever, but I can't see where that thing is going to be better than having just Dreyfus, especially at that cost. That was dumb. But at the same time, they gave us that calendar 14 days and they gave us like 2 free pets. They gave us, one of them is Hawk and another one is a glider that they gave us or whatever, which I'm not using either one of those, but it's some free stuff that they gave us. They gave us the ability to like farm more gear, but with less resources so that you could farm, you can craft certain gear with less resources. So there were certain things that you couldn't farm before that you can farm, and then you only needed that one thing from the dungeon, as opposed to needing like all this extra stuff. Like there was what's coming into the dev notes now, which I'll talk about after the Midnight Fang thing, is oh my god, my back. It's stuff that seems it'll have a push pull. So you'll be able to like craft some of the armor, cool, but then the passives are going to be a problem, kind of. We'll get to it when we get to the developer's note, but it's going to be kind of a problem, maybe a little bit, because now that's going to be more expensive, but you can do this other thing easier. So there's like that give and take of them trying to find the balance in the economy, and that's what I think most communities are asking for, is just to be like engaged with by the developers. It's a weird, I won't say parasocial, but it's kind of a weird relationship that gets built between the community and the developers. And if the community feels like they're being heard at least, then they rock with it in most cases. Why do you think Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has lasted for like 12 years? What's up, Stefan? So we're going to go over Midnight Fang, who I got him and I'm happy. All right, so let's go ahead and start recording. Coming in 3, 2, 1. I got him. There he is. He on the screen. I got him. Midnight Fang. It was difficult, but I got lucky as hell. And I will have to throw some credit. Check in the comments below or the description. There were 2 Reddit guides that I used in order to figure out where this dude was and to actually get him. So, without further ado, let's get to the video. All right, so coming in. Ooh. 3, 2. Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a 7 Deadly Sins origin video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I got to Midnight Fang. But most important, first off, got to say it real quick. Reddit, there were 2 Reddit posts with comment sections. I've put them into this because I'm trying to give them credit for this. There were some extra tips that I figured out along the way while like going through it, reading the comments and everything else. But shout out to them in the Reddit section, in the description. Click on those links for additional information if you don't want to keep going back and forth in my video. So Midnight Fang, who is my favorite mount now. I think that's going to be pretty obvious. She is, there she is. She's absolutely huge. She's absolutely awesome. All right. So I'm showing off. But now let's get to how this happened. All right. And I'm going to give you the tips that you would need in order to at least get to where this, I'm pulling up the video to at least get to where she is. So as a matter of fact, check. Let's put up, so let's do this transition. All right, so I'm going to give you the tips of where she is. Sorry, let me pull this up. Bet. Now, I did put a marker here. I don't know why this marker isn't showing up anymore, but right down here, there should be a marker for where. Can I confirm? My markers haven't been staying lately, but that is exactly where you'll find Midnight Fang. Now, Midnight Fang is very apropos because you have to go there between midnight and 2 a.m. 1. 2. There is a, like right around this area here, you'll see in the video, I'm trying to make it like this area here. There is a change in region. right? One thing that I've found is that if you're in that region before midnight, it doesn't show up. She won't be there. You have to go into that region after midnight. So what I then did was I would go to the warp way over here. I would warp there and I would wait. I would change the time to like 5 minutes before midnight, or as close as possible as I could. Then wait till it struck midnight and then ride all the way to this spot to take on Midnight Fang. So that is how I eventually got there. I'm going to show you the video. Midnight Fang can be obnoxious. However, I can't complain too much because I lucked up on the first shot, on the first attempt. I messed up and threw the potion in the wrong area. Didn't get her. Second attempt, I threw it, lucked up, 14% probability, and from what I've heard, the best you can get is 15 after beating her up a bit. I got her. Okay, so sorry, spoiler alert. Anyway, so if you notice, and I think I'll go to the successful run, or maybe I can show you where I got beat up a little bit. So yeah, there's the area where I'm supposed to be at the top. I went ahead and you see I've put that there. I've put the marker there. It doesn't show it. That's fine. So here I'm going to change the time. Let's go. Change the time to right before. So new time is supposed to be 11:58. All right, fine. Now it's after midnight. Now that it's after midnight, I was going to run into find Midnight Fang. We're going to skip ahead a little bit just so we hurry up and get there. Skip ahead a little bit more. All right, so I've already entered the new region, and this is the unsuccessful attempt. You can tell by like how much time is left on the bar, right? And I walk up into this region. Okay, so then you're gonna see there's a little purple shade light under a bush. You get to that bush, you jump up, you hit into the ground right there, and that's where Midnight Fang shows up. Now, Midnight Fang, the wild shadow viper, sure. Midnight Fang is obnoxious because all she does is charge, and then there's this jump. She's going to charge, she's going to charge, she's going to charge, she's going to charge, and then I can't tell if it's after you do enough damage or after a certain amount of times, but that is your opportunity to throw your potion and to actually get her. I tried to do the whole I'm just going to dodge you forever, but then she seemed to just never stop. She would just keep going and going and going on the charge, and I was like, I'm going to run out of time. The other big tip you need to know is that, and this happened to me a couple times because I would get lost or I would get there too late or whatever. You see the clock in the top right over here? Like for those of you who might be really, really new. You see the clock? You see the clock? You see the clock? You see the time? It's 1 a.m., right? I said it shows up between 12 and 2. The second it hits 2 a.m., it disappears. So it's gone. So you have to go get to that area, get its health down low enough to where it is almost dead, and then throw your potions at it only when it's doing this hop thing. That's your opportunity. I made a mistake, and I think I didn't want to show it, but I'll show it, where I got too eager, where I was like, I can get it lower, I can get it lower, I can get it lower, and then it disappeared. I don't even know why it disappeared, because it was 1:30 in the morning, right? Did I kill it? No, it was just gone. It just left. Woosa, woosa, woosa. Yep. So then I warp back here. I changed the time again, and now we're back on our well, not horsey. This is the playful cat. So you see me, I'm waiting here. It's 11:59. It's changed over to midnight. Hop on the playful cat, and then I enter the region. That's the other part of it too. I'm not even in that region. I am entering the region now at midnight, not before. And then I race all the way there on my playful kitten. Once I get there, uh, I'll let it run. It made me feel really good. I gotta be honest. It made me feel really good to capture it. It's all, and I'm already in panic mode here too because it is like, come on, it's so close. It's so close. All right. So we're coming up to the Bone Grave Hill. There's the light under the bush again. And then we attack it again. And this, you'll notice me go into panic mode a little bit. I could have gotten the health down. What is Elaine doing there? I could have gotten the health down a little bit more. This is like my fifth or sixth attempt, I would say. Maybe seventh. Only one time that I actually threw the potion out there, and that was after it was already dead, and I just went into like panic mode because I knocked the health all the way down. It laid down, and I threw a potion. I don't know. I was just being like, oh no, I messed up. This is, I want to say, the sixth, seventh time. And so there was this balance of I need to get the health bar down, but it can't be too much. And Meliodas can be an absolute beast. And there have been times where I've done more damage than intended. So I tried to avoid using either one of the normal or special skills. I did, I think, at a certain point, but then once I got here and he started jumping, I just took a chance, and she came through. I look at how much health levels left. I got 14%. I got so lucky. I got so lucky, but I took a shot with the health bar at, like, let's say 15%, 20%. Tossed it, ended up getting Midnight Fang. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Another shout out to those Reddit posts that helped out, and everybody in the comment section. There were so many people who were helpful in the comment section, so shout out to all of them. I could not be happier. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it and subscribe and a dislike, I'm okay with that as well. I'm gonna go run around and play with Midnight Fang. Oh, and it has a skill where it like does the stomp. It's cool. I like it so much. See you guys next time. Bet. I'm so happy with Midnight Fang. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right. It's amazing. All right. So there's that. Midnight Fang captured. Hold on 1 second. I need to send a message. Sorry, guys. Okay. There we go. Just kidding in case I need to say. Oh, sorry. Spike, you didn't need to say it. Plus those people who are like, oh, see, someone else got Midnight Fang. See, we like Fang bros. All right. So anyway, whoa, that sounded really bad if you're a guy from when you went to college in like the early 2000s. No, I did try NTE. And I promised that I would. As a matter of fact, here's what we're about to do right now. While I'm here, so I do not forget, I have to be honest. I was gonna do it. I even remembered to do it. And then I started watching Daredevil Born Again. Because I didn't want to, I don't, okay. So what had happened was I don't watch, you know how they do those like weekly releases? I say, forget you guys. And I just wait until the last episode comes out. And then once the last episode comes out, I watch them all and I binge them. And I realized, like, after I watched like the NBA playoff highlights or whatever, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. Something just clicked in my head, and I went to Disney Plus, and I was like, oh, they've already put it all out. And so then once I saw that they were all out, I was like, yeah. So this is about to be my weekend. I'm sorry, but I'm going to it right now. Neverness to Everness, and I'm downloading it right this minute because I made a promise and I broke the promise. Hey, Big Sweet. So I'm gonna do that right now. Get 120 plus free pulls off PC Spieler. Oh, sorry, that was. Is Neverness to Everness also PlayStation? It's only PC, right? Uh, all right. I might have to. No, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So, but Neverness to Everness is just PC, right? It's not a PlayStation. Okay. So we're downloading it now. Quite literally, have the installer here. Okay. I apologize. Um, actually, that's funny. That's funny. That is funny. That is funny. That is funny. Actually, you know what's funnier? I need to do this because my okay. This is secret identity stuff. This is secret identity stuff. My friend, one of my closest friends, he doesn't necessarily know about my channel and stuff. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and send it to him. It's on PS5 too. Okay. And I'm going to switch up and do it on PS5 just because um, I'm on my PlayStation more than I'm on my PC if I'm just relaxing. And that's going to be the thing that gets me to um, be able just to play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I'm just chilling, sit back. I'm going to listen to an audiobook and I'm going to just play it. So let's just go ahead and go home. Where is the store? Let me share this real quick. All right, so now store is not going to be right at the top, is it? Okay, so this almost oh, never Taverness. We're gonna do it right now, just as a neverness. Now, if there's any other game that has the non-existent word neverness, then we have issues. Okay, so R2. There it is. All right, kostenlos. Yeah. Okay, we're on it. We're on it. We're on it. That does help. That does help a lot. So appreciate it. So now we can do that. Oh, and it's kicking up down there too. It's kicking up dust. And next, I am going to go ahead and do the dev notes, and then I'm gonna call it a stream. Got a lot of work in today. You know what I mean? That's look at that. Look at that. I'm actually acting like a real streamer right now. Let's go to the seven deadly sins. Origins dev note or site first, and then we'll do the dev notes. Bet. So this means that, and tonight I will put Seven Deadly Sins aside. I will give this a shot. I will give this a fair shake. We'll see how it goes. What does it mean? Don't show this again. We just need to get to dev notes, homie. Just take me to the website, homie. Let's go ahead and put up this capture. Then we can record the. There we go. Transition. So we record the dev notes. You guys can say your piece. You're big sweet there. Okay. Am I gonna play it enough to be able to even get to like the clan or stuff? I guess eventually I will. There's a question. Big Sweet, where are you? Are you North America, Europe, or Southeast Asia? Because that's the other problem. Like, do they let everybody on the same server, like, be friends or whatever, or is it divided there too? Just as a friendly reminder that I'm in Switzerland, and they don't like it. Well, not they don't like it. They don't like it when we become friends from different areas, which you would think they would love. Isn't it supposed to bring the people together? All right, here we go. Going on to dev notes, and then so we'll record this. West Coast. See, oh, that's why you're awake. Oh, why are you awake? So you're 9 hours from me. Okay. And it's 11:30 in the morning right now. So it's 1:30 where you're at, right? Shout out to the West Coast. Shout out to homie Stewart and Stevie, guys I grew up with who were in San Diego. So let's see if if this ends up letting us be. Well, I'm gonna look for you anyway. Doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put reminder, because you know how ADHD works. Big Sweet. Bet. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Itchy back. So, for 7 Deadly Sins dev notes, I'm going to try to get through this pretty quickly and record the video so then I can go meet the homie Damien, play some hoops, and then come back, edit the videos with very, very, very sore knees. This is PD Cool. Okay. There's a name. PD Cool. If I do this, will this fit in better? Yeah, that perspective is much better, even though it might be harder to read. Conducted an AMA, our development team. Okay. Able to once again take a closer look at the aspects of the current game. Moving forward, we will continue to create opportunities to hear your voice based on various opinions, including through blah, blah, blah. Updated schedule to be released sequentially over the course of 2 weeks. Overall, part 1 of the update is being prepared with a focus on reducing fatigue. But all right, so they don't give us any definitive dates on that. You can also read dev notes through the game in the notice feature. Yeah, but it's easier to do it this way. It's easier for me to, like, from a OBS perspective, it's easier for me to scroll through it like this. So let's see. Just making sure that, okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Plus, what it does when you do the notice is it just takes you to a window. That's a website on PlayStation, and then trying to zoom in and out just. Game has multiplayer at level 14. Got it. That's what I was more worried about. Okay, cool. All right. Hell and Abyss time limit removed. Yes. They're not giving us. I'm looking for an actual schedule of when these updates will happen, and they don't say necessarily when. So they also have not announced anything about the Twitch drops. What? They haven't announced anything about the latest character to come, although you say Clotho, but I don't see that in any news stuff. Daily adventure, notice of upcoming bundle. This is July. This is daily adventure support. Yeah, they've been sending us a lot of like these free resources. Like a lot of them. Regular hero draw ticket tomorrow. Oh, it's just one of the, okay. I got excited thinking it was like the SSR selector. My bad. I was about to look like, yeah. And now I'm like, oh, damn it. All right. Then the healing potions. QP. Was this the thing that you said you couldn't get a hold of, Gojo? Didn't you say that? Didn't you just say that you weren't able to catch some of this stuff? Okay. Cube key 30. Yeah. All right. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and get to the news. So, coming in 3, 2. In this video, we're going over the dev notes. These are improvements that are coming to the game really soon. Gonna have my crew with me. Give our feedback on what is happening to the game and the changes that are coming. Let's get to the video. All right, so now I wonder if I should change it to have, you know what? Let's duplicate this scene real fast. We'll change it to L3. Sorry, those numbers, those words meant nothing to you. And then for L3, with the capture window for that, we will adjust it to this, move it up a bit. I think that looks better. I think that looks much better. All right. So then in my head it's still there. Cool. We will lock this up. I need to rename this and then right back with you. Chat game, not game. Let's say web. All right, cool. So then we transition this over. So, oh, you got it now. Okay, cool. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I'm pretty sure like those things come, they don't come at reset. They come a little bit after for whatever reason that may be. Okay, so coming in 3, 2. Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a 7 Deadly Sins origin video. In this video, we're going over the dev notes for new things that are coming into the game. There seems to be a lot of good. I'll say good, and some stuff that could be potentially terrible. I'll try to keep this short, but you guys know me, I'm loquacious. Anyway, there's your word of the day. It's the word of the day every day. I say it because I say it damn near every day. Anyway, this is from PD Cool. And I'm going to go briefly over this just because I want to give them their flowers for this. And I know some of you are like, oh, this is what should happen. When you come from a game like DC Worlds Collide, where they absolutely do not communicate with anyone, and then you come to a game where they're like putting out regular dev notes and doing regular live streams, you start to like really appreciate, you really appreciate that they're trying. Are they going to do everything we want? No. Are they going to do every decision going to be popular or smart? No, but at least they're communicating. So always giving props for that. Through the recent AMA, many Star Guardians shared a wide range of opinions and feedback with us. And I'm only going to touch major points. I'm not going to read this whole thing out. This is insane. You can go on their website, which they do update regularly. That's where the dev notes are. You can also find it through the game itself in the announcements. As we conduct the AMA, our development team was also able to once again take a closer look at which aspects of current gameplay experience Star Guardians find inconvenient, as well as the directions of improvements you are hoping for most. Moving forward, we'll create opportunities where we regularly hear from you directly and respond to your feedback. This update is scheduled to be released sequentially over the course of 2 weeks. Now, they don't, and I've done a brief skim of this. I haven't read it like in depth. Some parts I did read in depth. They have not announced a new character yet that's supposed to be coming out. The leak is Clotho, but that's a leak. I have no idea. Let's see. I was hoping for Merlin, but let's see. Um, this is going. They haven't given you a schedule about when this is coming out as well. I would assume it's the Wednesday because that seems to be like when they release it. Wednesday for Swiss time. That appears to be when they like to release things. We'll see. Escanor is ending relatively soon, so I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get an announcement. By the time you're seeing this, there's probably an announcement of what character's coming out. But in any case, overall, part 1 of the update is being prepared with a focus on reducing fatigue and the burden of repetitive gameplay currently felt throughout the game. While also improving progression paths so that existing content can be enjoyed in a more meaningful way. Let's see what they say, because the moment I said this game didn't feel grindy, it immediately felt grindy. And I don't know why I said that. I'm stupid. I speak too soon. I spoke way too soon. In addition, part 2 of the update will introduce more diverse gameplay experiences for Star Guardians through new events, systems, and content. So let's just hop right on into it. So this is the big one that Gojo sent me like a message on Discord after the fact. Oh, Discord description. Engraved equipment system improvements. We have seen many Star Guardians reaching the stage of farming engraved equipment after progressing through the main quest. However, as the current engraved equipment system determines both quality and passives randomly, obtaining both high quality and the desired passive at the same time currently requires a considerable amount of time. That it does. In particular, we have seen many Star Guardians repeatedly crafting equipment for certain heroes in order to obtain desired passive levels. However, as this process continues over time, we have also seen progression becoming increasingly focused on crafting for only a small number of heroes rather than encouraging players to build and utilize a wider variety of heroes. That is all very, very fair. And this does go to like, hey, we want you to be able to complete, supposedly. We want you to be able to complete your hero, get what you want, get the gear on them that you want so that you can move on and start developing the other one. Helps with theory crafting. Right now, for me at least, farming armor is I farmed 2 pieces of armor for Diane, one mistakenly and the other one like intentionally. And now I'm frozen. I don't want to do anything because it's very hard to get the resources and the materials to farm, to engrave the armor. Then having to do that repeatedly over and over and over again. Let's say you're going for passives or whatever. That sucks. So, in any case, as the Seven Deadly Sins origin is designed around the experience of growing multiple heroes while utilizing various attributes and team combinations, our development team believes that the current limitations surrounding engraved equipment, quality, and passive acquisition do not fully support this intended gameplay experience. Accordingly, in this update, we plan to introduce a new system that will allow players to reset the quality and passives of existing engraved equipment, enabling players to make more meaningful use of the equipment they are currently using. And this is exactly that thing where I was reading it and Gojo was like, oh, this, and this is happening. And I was like, this can go one of 2 ways, or it's going to go 2 ways. You're going to get a relief on one side and the other side is going to become more grindy. So you can get what you want, but then, and that was before I read the thing. And then once I read what was happening, I was like, boom, there it is. There's where, and not to play it cynically because these companies need to make money in order to survive. But there's going to be one side of this where it is, hey, you can engrave this armor. But then the other side of it, like, hey, if you want to improve the passes on the armor that you already farmed, you're going to need to go through this route with this limited time event, which I'm kind of, spoiler alert, this limited time event or this bundle that you can buy or save up, in-game resources to buy with star fragments or however they decide to do that. That extra path does create an extra revenue stream or an extra way to kind of get a little bit of cash. We'll see how free-to-play friendly that system is. It's awesome how well these devs communicate. It also makes me really depressed about DC World. I told you. I appreciate it when it happens. Through this new feature, we hope to provide a progression path that players can gradually improve and refine existing equipment without needing to craft entirely new engraved equipment each time. So you can engrave the equipment, the armor. You're good. Now, if you want to work on the passives, here's this other path. You don't have to keep engraving it. You don't have to keep engraving it. That's fine. But you're going to have to keep grinding or paying for these passives. So I'm sounding negative. It's not negative per se. It depends on what they do with it and how they make it. Engraved equipment quality and passive level change features added. New items that allow players to separately change the quality and passive levels of the engraved equipment will be added. As a performance, and this is the thing too, and I'm saying this like, and I just said it, I know I've read it, but Gojo as my witness, he put it in my Discord, and I said, this could be one or two things, and then I read through it, and I circled, this is the thing I was worried about. As the performance difference between the engraved equipment can currently vary significantly depending on passive levels, we would like to provide a feature that allows players to re-roll passive levels using materials that are more accessible, rather than repeatedly crafting the same engraved equipment by consuming the limited Brilliant Engravings seal. So, here's another path, another way for you to re-roll the passives. How are you getting these items to re-roll the passives? Well, these items used for changing quality passive levels can be obtained through crafting. We are also preparing to allow them to be crafted using the Transcendence Essence and the Sunstone Ally materials used for crafting Remnants of Rift. In addition, these items will also be available at certain probability from boss rewards in Abyss, difficulty boss challenges, and demon dungeons, allowing players to continuously have opportunities to make adjustments. In addition, a separate special item will also be introduced that allows players to increase equipment quality and with guaranteed success. As this item provides a guaranteed quality increase, it is planned to be obtainable only in limited quantities through events and similar content. And that's where I was like, they're giving you a path, and I got to be fair. They're giving you a path to have the chance to increase those passive levels through crafting. It's not like it's going to happen for sure, but if you farm the Abyss boss challenges and the Abyss dungeons, then you will get some of the like needed materials. Like you have a certain probability from boss rewards. These items used for changing quality and passive levels can be obtained through crafting. We're also preparing for them to be crafted using the Transcendence, like the materials that are already there. You can craft them. Here you'll craft them and you'll have a chance. However, if you want guaranteed success, you're gonna have to get these through the limited. And I say all that to say, I'm still cautiously optimistic. I need to see the rates. I need to see at what are the success rates for upgrading my gear using these things that I farmed from the Abyss dungeons and the Abyss boss challenges in game or like late mid game content. What are like the chances I have of upgrading my equipment? That's going to go large. Reducing crafting material requirements for Remnants of the Rift. Well, yeah, if you've separated out the paths of how we're going to get there, then the cost needs to be reduced. That just stands to reason to me. With the addition of the quality and passive level changing features introduced above, the usage of the Sunstone Ally is also expected to increase naturally. Accordingly, we plan to adjust the crafting materials required for Remnants of Rift as well. Among the currently used materials, Sunstone Alloy will be replaced with Sunlight Flower. Through the change, we hope to increase the usefulness of the Sunlight Flower, which is currently only used in the masteries of specific heroes, while also making Remnants of Rift easier to obtain. In addition, not only will Sunstone Alloy, but also the required amount of Transcendence Essence will be reduced from 80 to 40, while the required amount of polish will be reduced from 75 to 50. These are good balances and checks for like good like balances to everything that's about to happen. We're gonna make it cheaper for you to obtain this thing, to obtain this ability to change the passives. We're gonna make this cheaper crafting materials. This other thing is going to be more difficult. I need to know the drop rates. That's the thing. But I'm looking at it optimistically. I really am. I think this is all good for the game, especially the way that they're communicating it. But we'll see. There was also that whole there is a chance for the field bosses or the elite bosses to drop certain items from masteries, and those chances and the amount is like one, maybe two. I got two today. They're not high drop rates, and it's not a lot of materials. So it's like, yeah, okay, you gave me one, but come on. So let's see what those rates are in terms of success rates, but cautiously optimistic. Hell and Abyss difficulty time limit removed. I like that. The 5 minute time limit on the Gila Abyss dungeon. I think it's 15 minutes for Galland, or is it 5 minutes for him? That's difficult. 100%. Previously, Abyss difficulty served as the highest difficulty content prior to the addition of Time Space Junction. Yeah, Time Space Junction is kicking my teeth in. However, the addition of Time Space Junction adds a new challenge focused content mode, and as many Star Guardians are now repeatedly playing existing Abyss difficulty content to farm equipment and growth materials, we believe it's necessary for Abyss difficulty to better fulfill its role as content focused on stable progression and farming. Accordingly, through this update, the time limit for Hell and Abyss difficulties will be removed. In addition, with the removal of the time limits, records will be updated to display actual clear times beyond 0 seconds. All right, and then the Abyss difficulty dungeon routes improvement. This description was kind of weird to me. I want to see what it is, but through this update, the starting location, and I'm starting down here, guys. Through this update, the starting location of the Abyss difficulty in the Frozen Mines will be changed so that players can immediately begin the battle against Long Dead upon entering the dungeon, allowing the final boss encounter to be accessed without going through the mine cart sequence. To help reduce player fatigue, certain Abyss difficulty dungeons will have their routes adjusted through this update so the boss battles can be reached more quickly. Now, that sounds good for the Frozen Mines, okay? However, I would like to know if that's optional, because I do go through the Frozen Mines like to complete all of those bosses in there. There's 2 other bosses in the Frozen Mines that I try to beat because they also have some good resources there. Additionally, Gila's Abyss, she has a I think it's called like a lifestone golem, a life crystal golem that's in there. You can use that to farm gold and resources and just hit that golem and come back. Now, part of that is I can just go in there, get the gold. And the reason why I'm not going at Gila is because you do not have enough time to go at this golem and go at Gila at the same time. There's only 5 minutes, at least for someone starting out. If you have like a level 100K team, then yeah, you're probably walking through it with barely any effort, but I'm not. So that means when I go in and I take out even though I can reliably take out that golem, now I'm down to 3 minutes before I have to go find Gila and beat her. I can't do all that. So the idea that you're starting at the boss, that's also cool. Are you removing those golems in the way these other mini bosses that could help us with resources? And if there's that option of like going directly to the boss and that's what you're doing for the dungeon, do we also have the option to like say, no, I'd rather do the whole dungeon and get those other 2, that other one mini boss? That's where my question comes in. And I don't, yeah, and it's not really clear right there for me, but let's see. Higher difficulties added to the Mastery Growth Dungeon and the Gold Growth Dungeon. In particular, Gold Dungeon will also be available up to Nightmare difficulty. There was not a sufficient difference in gold acquisition efficiency compared to the Abyss difficulty of other dungeons, despite using the same cube keys. As our development team has seen that many Star Guardians are using these dungeons specifically for gold farming and mastery progression, we plan to add Hell and Abyss difficulties to both Gold Dungeon and Mastery Growth Dungeon, so they can more clearly fulfill those roles. I just did a top 10 beginners tips for beginners, right? In that, I do talk about how going through the Gold Dungeon or the Masteries dungeon makes no sense when you can just go through Gila's Abyss and then to that golem that I was just talking about, knocking him out, grabbing those resources, and dipping. Now, I was always worried that they were going to try to find some way to stop that. And the way that they're trying to stop that is by making the rewards on the other dungeons more, robust. Cool, I guess. We will see. Will they still only cost 5 cube keys, or will it be like 200,000 gold for 10 cube keys or something along those lines where you have to balance it out? Same time, if you're telling me that the abyss level of the gold dungeon is going to give me 260 gold for 10 cube keys, I'm still going to the Gila Life Crystal Golem because 5 cube keys, 130,000 gold, and I get the resources. So you're going to have to really impress us to get us to change that. It will consume the same number of cube keys as other difficulties when obtaining rewards, so please keep this in mind while playing. Let's see. It said, okay, so that means this tells me, it could have said 5. It said same number. So it's going to be 5 cube keys to get theoretically more gold and more masteries. Okay. It's really, 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 it is. It's really going to have to be impressive. Like 5 cube keys for 260,000 gold. Otherwise, why wouldn't I just go to that golem still and get the mastery stuff? See what I'm saying? Like they're gonna make it really worth it, and they don't give us the details, but fine. Okay, so that was part 1 update. That should be out first. Part 2. Part 2 of the update is being prepared with a different focus from the improvements mentioned above, centering more on providing diverse gameplay experiences and elements that can be enjoyed together with other Star Guardians. In particular, we have seen that many Star Guardians exploring Britannia are looking forward to not only to the progression and challenge focused gameplay, but also to the experience where they can enjoy the content and interact with other Star Guardians. Sorry, phone kept buzzing. It's just, give me 10 minutes. Anyway, Echoes of Hearts seasonal event open. The first seasonal event introduced through our previous roadmap, Echo of Hearts, will soon begin. Through this event, we plan to introduce a small-scale event story along with a new event dungeon. See, this is the part where I stopped at part 1. The event dungeon is designed as content where 2 players cooperate to solve puzzles and mechanics while progressing through the dungeon. This sounds like it could be fun. It sounds like it could. It sucks if you're on different servers. I want to play with my homies on the SEA server or the North American server, but whatever. We prepared this event to provide different kind of experience from existing combat-focused content, allowing Star Guardians to cooperate and play together in a lighter atmosphere. While the content can also be enjoyed solo, playing together with other Star Guardians will allow for a smoother, faster, clear experience. Okay. Through this event, we hope you'll be able to experience another side of Britannia's charm in a more... I like that. That sounds nice. Let's see what it is. Dungeon party matching system added. Currently, players must either manually form parties or recruit members separately, which has created a certain barrier to entry, especially for those looking to play content with random players. Additionally, this thing right here has gotten me to block people, and it's not even their fault, but it is. If I'm playing the game and I'm trying to farm or do something very specific, and you keep inviting, if you invited me once, okay, fine, but there have been people who 3, 4, 5, 6 times, it's like, I can't. Every time I look up, you're there, and now I can't play the game. You're blocked. And it's not necessarily their fault, but there is no system for us to be like, I'm offline right now, or I'm not available for a party right now. So stop inviting me. I'm not going to do it right now. If you catch me in an hour or two, sure, but right now I'm not. This party matching system will hopefully reduce the amount that stuff happens. You can still, hopefully, go grab your friends if you want to go do a party with them and have a good time. But then also, if you're not into it, and that person wants to go do the dungeon stuff, they can just match up with someone else who's trying to do that. Region chat and auto translation feature added. I would love to know how this works. Currently, communication outside of the parties and knighthoods is largely limited to emote-based interactions, making it difficult in many situations to quickly form parties or communicate with other Star Guardians on the spot. In particular, while Star Guardians from many different regions are already playing together in the global environment, we also understand that natural communication can still be difficult due to language differences. Accordingly, we are preparing to allow players to more freely recruit player members and communicate through the region chat in major locations such as Leona's Castle. We also plan to provide an auto translation feature that will automatically translate messages based on each player's selected game language. This could be dangerous or amazing. I really want to know what that is. Also, auto translation feature will also be available within the Find a Party interface. We hope this will allow Star Guardians from different language regions to enjoy party play together more easily. But I would really, really like to be able to like do that on different servers. That's that is the main thing. I really wish I could play with people from other servers. Like I'm American, I live in Switzerland, I stream. I have people who watch me from India. I have people who watch me on the West Coast. Shout out Cali. Well, you said West Coast. You didn't necessarily say California, but anyway. Um, I have people who watch me in France. Shout out Hakeem. I have people, and as a small streamer, I have people all over the globe who watch. Those 10 people that watch me, right? People who play this game may have friends in other like geographical regions. It's not weird to have a friend in Japan if you grew up in New York or Brazil, or I said New York, the city, then Brazil. Let's say Rio de Janeiro. But like if you have like different friends all over the world, it'd be cool to say, yo, we both play this game. I met you at a Comic Con in Basel. There's one coming up in Basel this weekend. That's why I'm bringing it up. In Basel, I know that you live in the Philippines and you're just over here visiting some family at the time, and then you and your family came here. Cool, we both love Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, we can't play together. That sucks. So I hope they resolve that at some point. But this is good news, hopefully. Boss Challenge and Time Space Junction leaderboards added. We have seen that many Star Guardians are continuing to challenge bosses faster than anyone else while researching and experimenting with a variety of strategies. And we believe there is a need for a system that can showcase the gameplay experience in a more meaningful way. It's definitely not me. That thing is kicking my tail. We're getting there. Not there yet. We're getting there. In this preseason ranking system, rankings will be determined based on the clear times for the Abyss difficulty boss challenge and Time Space Junction content. In addition, at the end of each ranking season, players will be able to obtain special titles based on their rankings in each content category. I like the fact that what they're doing is cosmetic and it doesn't necessarily give already like really, really, really strong players more like resources to get really, 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 really strong. Yeah, the leaderboards are only for whales, and that's cool because most whales, they want the special title. And if what you're giving is like, hey, demigod of Leonis is your title, and that's what you cool. Special title, knock yourself out. I'm not too worried about special titles, but that is a good like incentive for those whales who do like that stuff. Shout out, give it to them. Whales put money into the game for that stuff, and then we get to keep playing it for, well, I don't play for free, but you know what I mean. So, in any case, at the same time, we're also fully aware that Star Guardians may feel burdened by the competitive elements. As such, the content is being prepared with a focus on honor rewards that showcase your strategies and gameplay rather than rewards that tied to essential growth materials. Okay. See, I should have kept reading. I talked too much. I should have kept reading. That part. Combat assist mode added. Again, I haven't gotten this far into the thing. Okay. I did get to this part, but apparently maybe I skipped over this. Many Star Guardians with a wide variety of play styles are currently enjoying the Seven Deadly Sins Origins. In particular, we have noticed that Star Guardians who are less familiar with action games, as well as those playing in a mobile environment, are experiencing difficulties using tags. This is very true. This made me transition playing this on PlayStation most of the time. And then whenever I needed to do like anything random, like just, I need to do this, that, and the third, then I would use mobile. Like my phone would basically start to melt in my hands if I played the game on any kind of fight mode. If you guys watched the stream before I got my PlayStation hooked up to it, you would hear me be like, "Oh my god, my phone is literally on fire," which was a figurative thing to say, literally, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but dodging tags and stuff can be more difficult. As content becomes more difficult, the players are required to utilize not only attacks but also tags, dodges, skills. Our development team is also aware that this can make overall control difficulty feel relatively high. So does the heat from your phone. Accordingly, we plan to add combat assist mode features so that Star Guardians who are less familiar with the action games can more easily adapt to the combat and continue progress through the game. This feature is designed to simplify the feature of hero attacks and skill usage and will be provided on a separate option to be turned on and off. It's an auto mode. Combat assist mode will first be applied to mobile devices as it should do. And based on how Star Guardians utilize the feature, we will review expanding it to other platforms. I mean, if you're doing auto mode on PlayStation or PC, I don't know why you would, but okay. Auto mode to me, I do use it for Bleach Soul Resonance. Is one of those things of the way that you've asked me to make these characters interact to get to certain things is not possible on a phone for me. I'm old, I guess. On PlayStation, easy. Let's go. Let's get these buttons going. But on mobile, it is damn near impossible. That's what it feels like. So an auto feature on mobile would be cool. I want to know what this looks like because then this does also help with the fatigue of farming certain things, right? If I'm going at a challenge, okay, cool. But if I'm facing the giant bird for the 1700th time, 1700 is nothing. Set 1700th, 1700th, maybe that's the way to say it, time. I don't want to do that no more. Having an auto battle for like content that you've already beaten a lot, I'm not exactly opposed to. Also, with the way those auto features work, for those of you who are like, well, what about learning the rotations and stuff? You're always going to get a better result when you run manual. If you're trying to run auto on like a Galland Abyss, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose because the auto system can only do so much, I assume. They don't want you to be able to auto complete content that where you're like team level 60k and the thing you're facing is 74k. They don't want that. But for those of you who are like, oh, I have to run this dungeon for the 100th time and this dungeon is at level 64k and I'm at 100k, I'd rather just put that on my phone and put it to the side and let it run that dungeon for me or whatever the case may be. It says auto combat, so I don't think that means like necessarily auto dungeons, but I'm not opposed to that, especially for mobile. And I don't think it's going to be anything that affects like more difficult content or allows you to punch up. Elite Field Boss respawn improvements. Basically, and I remember reading this, through this update, we are preparing future convenience, further convenience improvements such as allowing insufficient material bundles to be used immediately and reorganizing the items. Whoa. Accordingly, there we go, sorry. Accordingly, we plan to shorten the respawn time after rewards are obtained for elite bosses and field bosses, allowing players to continue repeated gameplay more smoothly without unnecessary reconnection processes. Which basically what they were saying is that people would just go to the login screen and then come back so they could face the boss again. The way I got around that whole boss respawning thing is I would pick, well, used to like three bosses that I need to farm, and then I would just go hit the 3 in a triangle, and then by the time I would get back, they will have respawned or about to respawn. The shortening these times, thank you. Very needed. So in addition, further improvements such as, we will provide more detailed information regarding these improvements through a future notice. Rather than simply focusing on adding new content, this update is being prepared with a stronger emphasis on improving and refining the actual gameplay experience. Even after this update, we plan to continue introducing various improvements on existing content. So this is basically the end of it. Even so, we will continue listening carefully for the feedback you share with us and do our very best to create a Britannia that can be enjoyed together for a long time to come. We sincerely thank you all. We sincerely thank All Star Guardians for always being with us. We appreciate you. I do, at least. I really, really, really appreciate these things where they giving us a developer's notes, letting us know what's going on. You've already heard somebody like the sad face is still up there of like how if communication isn't there, it sucks. We've been there. We don't like it. In any case, thank you guys for watching. Comments on the developer notes, comments on something that you think I was being too dramatic about, or something that you think I did not emphasize enough of how terrible it might be or how great it might be. But in any case, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe and a dislike. I'm okay with that as well. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, I think that does it. I got so much work done today. 3 videos recorded. What? Yeah. That actually made me proud. So what I'm gonna do is, this stream is about to end soon. Thank you guys. I got on earlier. I'm already like at that point, because I do have to do. I'm gonna go play basketball for lunch. But then when I come back, I have to do adulting. I have to do all that stuff that adults have to do. Boo. But anyway, guys, it has been fun. I will be streaming tomorrow. I have not. It is downloaded. Wait. Okay. Hey. I said, and I know I said it before, and I lied that time. I didn't lie this time. It's there. So, going to go hoop. Do that first. I'm gonna come back. Adult admin stuff has to be done first. This job search thing. You know what I'm saying? Apartment search thing. You know, we got to do these things. Letters to different things. You know, got to do that stuff. And then around about 6 p.m. when I'm done with all that extra stuff. Oh, and also I got to release the videos. The dev notes thing has to come out today. Burst gauge explanation will come out, I guess, tomorrow. Catching Midnight Fang will come out after that. And then top 10 tips. Maybe top 10 tips will come out before Burst Gauge. Maybe that'll be the next one. Anyway, dev notes, that thing will come out today. That has to come out today. Have to be quick turnaround on that one. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So, thank you guys. I appreciate you. And then around about 6 p.m., we will go ahead and get to this thing. NTE. See if it's any good. And then I'll go find Big Sweet as well. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I will see you guys tomorrow.